she's just a character, right? Or is she a spy? Is she haunted? Multiple personalities. Maybe an exceptional actress caught in a role she didn't audition for. But here's the twist. What if her game is actually yours? Every scene, every word, every glitch you ignore, that's all a clue. There are no coincidences, and nothing here is ever random. If you haven't figured it out yet, ask yourself why not. Start paying attention to what triggers you, because that might be the exact thing you've been missing. Welcome to the game. All right, so let's give an update on this quarantine situation for real. The fact of the matter is, these are some of the realities that we have to face. But just basic, and then that's if we have to go back to this kind of like pro glove scam, and then that's he's not into the politics. Did you guys get your binders? So blue team and red team. So red team, and then I guess technically Canada, right? It's like, when are we red team and when are we blue team, and then the subdivided stuff, which also then it's like boy girl too. Like, it moves around a lot. Andrew, you're on the blue team, right? We have to be a little more cautious of what we consume, what we use, and what we waste. For me in particular, I kind of stopped grocery shopping for a while before because I was kind of sick of making everyone different meals and different... Well, Ralph Lauren plug, it's true, right? So Charlie can't play tennis, but you look good in shorts, so you get a plug for the fashion, fair enough. Yeah. Can't go around getting in fights. It's not good. Everything, right? And then you buy this food with the intentions to eat something healthy and make these salads and make these great food. You every time, right? We all do it, and then it goes to waste, all the produce, right? The house is coming together nicely. Getting there. Need obviously a kitchen table. Getting there. Oh, that's a mess. Carpet will be coming in, so looking good. You buy it, so you're gonna start a new diet, and then you don't follow that, and then all the food goes to waste, right? Or how many times I'm gonna go into my pantry and we're gonna do this fun challenge together. Too much sugar in the recipe, Gingy. Too much sugar. Is what the hell's in the pantry? Well, okay, I got this pantry. I at some point I put labels on them. Well, they had better labels at one point, and then my daughter relabeled them, and then that got all messed up. But again, that's just what would I look at? Don't if he fucking talks to me. Ugh, right, and ruin everything. All these supplements, whoa, I don't even know what those supplements do half the time. Because having a supplement store, before the supplement store, I used a lot of supplements. And then what happened was we got the supplement store and I had access to everything, and then I stopped using supplements. Okay, so we got like a lot of missions, right? And we have to like a whole fucking group of them, and have to try to establish and work everything out and whatever else. But for now, just so because it's pretty basic and where we kind of are at, where it's been. Remember, so we have right the core of it, the Lost Kingdom of really everything, and then the Elegantly Outrageous world is the regular everyday world, which most people identify with and think this world is, but truly Elegantly Outrageous universe, kind of getting everything in there. Remember, there's some things left off, like dictator, racist, all that type of stuff, right? We still have to add that to the list, but just remember that it's there, because you can't be any of those things without being that. So because you got to be everything, and that's where we had a very set mission on when we took over this girl's body, what we were going to do with it, and how we were going to kind of work this out and kind of put this all together, and then how we were going to really mind fuck everybody else, because after they became criminals, right, and try to justify their actions by by doing what they do, they realize, shit, we are criminals and we fall into this category, so we better fucking get on board and help, otherwise we're fucked, right? Didn't make much sense. Mainly because I started working more and realized, well, I got so obsessed with my work. That's so obsessed with my work because I love my work. I'm one of those people that I'm blessed. And my life before, I hated my work, and then I hated my life. And then when I back in, right, because when Grant was physically abusing me, right, last year, the ghost version, now I know clearly, was that Batman and Joker thing. That was Heath. I found what I love doing, and then I started doing it. That's all I wanted to do, and then I started neglecting everything else. And that's where the balance comes into play. And I can't be a hypocrite. I can't say, oh, you know, I'm creating self-help programs and being a motivator and being a person who's going to help people. Because we've circled back around to that, right? And that's where that had to come out with the ghost. So only the physical abuse, right, is what worked. But it's fucked up because in this world, I got put, like, the ghost punched me in the face and I feel that stuff, right? And then it had to get stronger. And it's like when the trivia started with threats with Michael, because his ghost powers clearly weren't that strong. I don't know what the fuck you were doing, buddy, probably because he didn't know how to use the internet. And I just wanted to add, you know, just to point out, right, for centuries you've been fucking saying with the witch thing, right, burning us or hanging us or whatever the hell you were doing, right? So that's pretty fucked up, because you when you don't get your way or you can't fucking interpret what we're thinking, right, manipulate or burn the witch or do whatever. Well, first of all, burning, right, actually gives us more power, so when they did that, they fucked up. But the hanging and stuff like that, and the drowning, rude. So, right, you think that they're not going to work something up with our heads? Do you think you can read our minds? Is that what you're fucking going on, telekinesis, and your assumptions that you actually think that you can read minds? And then I'm a hypocrite who doesn't take care of herself, right? That doesn't work either. I can't abandon my past and my history, and I've had to kind of come to terms with that fact, right? Like, I was once a professional fitness model. I don't identify that way anymore, so I feel like it's almost a lie, except I was, right? So we're going to talk about forgiveness in this next little clip. Forgiveness mainly first to ourselves, and why that is so important. So we're going to talk about 5 tips and strategies on how to do that. So a lot of times our self-talk is very negative, right? It is very difficult. So one of the things that we actually want to go through and get you to understand is that maybe you can have a redo. What does that mean? Well, a redo, I want you to think about this for a second. This is the first tip with a little bit of a point. Our memories, when we go back and remember something, go back and visualize it, replay it, is whatever it is to us, right? So visualization versus real life, our brain doesn't actually know the difference. And that's why the narrative and the stories that we have in our mind are so important, that when we replay them with honesty, but we can also go back and relive it, redo it, and rechange it by looking at things from different perspectives. It goes into the cognitive therapy theories that we get into later in the other trainings and programs too. That's important to know. Well, how do you do that? Let's relive a scenario. So think of a scenario that you went through yourself. Maybe you're the bad guy. Put you in the situation, so you're constantly beating yourself up, right? And you know you screwed up, whatever that was. What if you go back into that scenario, relive it, and replay it in a different way? You thought I wasn't crazy? Well, you'd have to pay money. What a stupid assumption.
This is how legends are made.
Because everything we've done is illegal. So that goes, so aliens, obviously, because the government poking at them and everything else, well, they've been pissed because they haven't had their rights, right? Like, the alien rights have been taken away, so they're fucking mad. And they said, okay, well, but that's fine, because we kind of need that to happen anyways. It's about time. So we're going to take over the human bodies. So these, and aliens can take over, like, the parasite type of things. Like, they really can take over any spirit's body. So it doesn't matter if it's a human entity or if it's a creature or whatever. They can do whatever they want. And now they have a little bit more freedom, and they know they've kind of established a system and a way to do it. So they have done it. That's already been done. That was clear 2020. Like, they fucking had that, right? So if you don't know that by now, then that's because that's how they communicate. Then you're probably not on the team. Kill all the hosts that they took over. So I said, like, this bitch, Candace, right? We killed her body. So, like, but whatever, they can keep thinking it's Candace, but it's, yeah, that's how it works. So mission complete. Creature, obviously Awake Godzilla, because that's where it goes back to the whole Japanese thing. And the Avatar, Star is Born. I told you we're putting all the light on him right now so that I can get my shit together on the back end, so he can take all this. You guys, so you see Bradley Cooper, Kevin Hart, right? That's that fucking crossover there, and then everybody else having to go in him, so he can do the Star thing. How much is that? $2 billion? Is that right? With the cryptocurrency from Elena. That's more than 55,000, right? Well, I gotta go that direction then. So then he had to get better, like, and get better partners that knew how to use the fucking computer. So, but then he did start to get, like, he was pushy, right? Like, because he was pushy, because I went over there and was pushy. And then that's how that fight started between Michael and I, because that transferred over from Heath, right? So then that's when that went into the athletes starting to get involved in the ghost war stuff, right? Like, I have to go, I guess I know enough about that stuff to talk about it, so maybe I should be talking about it again and bring health back, because for myself, I got really lazy. Like, I just, it's not because I wasn't, people were saying, oh my God, Candace, you've lost so much weight, you must have an eating disorder. I was like, no, I don't have an eating disorder at all. In fact, I'm just busy. And I started really getting angry when people were, oh, you must be anorexic, you must be this, you must be that. And I'm like, no, I'm just working. I feel better that we're all nuts. Yeah, that part makes me feel good, right? And I know I went, so everybody's mentally ill, all right? But I really want this money back to get the hell out of here, right? Because I'm not doing well and I'm pretty vain and ugh. In that way, because I think we're in the World Cup. Michael, you don't do soccer, do you? Because you fucking left the basketball to do the baseball and then went back to the basketball, but you're not into the soccer. So right now we're doing World Cup, right? Because we already did the World Series. Like, that's fucking done, right? Like, I'm not going back around to that. So, and then we had started, I know there was like the Euro Cup thing that we were doing, but then we had to make some points, probably because of the statue thing, right? Like, because so I'm madly in love, which is why I'm so angry. Solo. Hi. Oh, yes. You're too handsome, boy. Yeah, you are. No. Yeah, you are. You handsome? Yeah. I just don't have time to care about the things I once did, right? I used to be obsessed with being in the gym. I was heavier. Had a lot more muscle. I had a lot of muscle, and to maintain that muscle was a lot of food, and then you go to the gym, and then you lift weights, and then you got to refuel, and like it was a whole big thing, and then you take the supplements and everything else, and then I started just working, and I have a smaller frame, my body just lost a lot of weight. I lost the muscle, right? So maybe you said things you shouldn't have said. You shouldn't have said them now that you've grown as a person. Okay, relive it. How would you replay that? How would that affect your life, and how would it be different? Okay, so that scenario, you have to learn. Now, do you have the opportunity, right? So our next tip, do you have the opportunity to apologize and repair that? You might not. That's a reality. Maybe you did something to somebody and they've passed on. Maybe you're fortunate enough that you can do something to repair that relationship, right? So if you can or you can't, if you can, recommend taking that opportunity to do so, right? That's a good thing to do. Instead of replaying this constant thing in your mind over and over and over again of how you screwed up, just apologize. It's not a sign of weakness, it's strength. With me saying I love you to Francis, is that Candace, Holly, or Sunny. Well, I don't think it's fucking Sunny, right? Because you're all fucking pissed off about the statue, right? When that got done because it got all twisted and sideways, right? So whose team is that, right? You got all upset about that statue, and then that triggered something. So that probably is why we were back into the World Cup. Well, no, I didn't go to Harvard, but the ones who work for me do. Do I feel good and strong? Yeah, I do. Do I need to get back into doing more activities? Yes. Do I miss the gym now? No. I stopped working out at the gym a while ago. I would go in periodically here and there. We have, I'm blessed that we do have a gym in the basement that has been untouched. I do like going to the gym because I like people around. So that's... Well, if the goal was to build a business bigger than Amazon, a self-help challenge bigger than Amazon, the only option is to partner with Amazon, because then you merge shit, and then that's how you make a monopoly, is when big businesses merge together. And Jeff fully said that would work, and he was behind me on that, and that made this a hell of a lot easier. And
most people are so worried about this, and this, that they forget what really matters is this, and this.
It's kind of sucking, and I'm sure a lot of people are feeling the same way, where they miss that interaction, because I find the energy of other people would make me have a better workout. However, when I was training, even when we did, and I don't identify as a fighter at all, okay, for the record. However, when I was training for a fight, I did that because, it was always one of those things on the bucket list, what if, what could I do? Because I like the process of the training. For me, getting punched in the face, a lot of people go, why would you want to do that? That, in my lifetime, if you know my story, I wouldn't trust that bitch. And how that works out, and that Godzilla is really real, and a girl is really fucking pissed at you guys for continuously calling her a boy. She's pissed, so we've done that. But she really crawled back into the abyss, and so she did her job, and then she went back into the abyss, because really she's not at the point yet where she feels that she's fully understood. So I'd say this isn't quite complete, because again, there's too much things that are uncertainty, and not enough people doing their job. So she's kind of pissed, but so it's almost there. The dragons, though, we have been able to establish, get up, move around. So I'd say that's pretty good, because we've identified, different, as the humans transform into the dragons, and then the dragon missions and all that. Can you guys stop? Hey! Because we remember Chloe's been Godzilla for a long time, right? And then Godzilla left, so that was kind of a thing. And if you haven't felt yourself transform in this to any of these creatures, you 100% are not in the club yet, just an FYI. Goddess God kind of missions, right? Because obviously that's had to happen. Cause massive chaos and disrupt the whole planet. Probably cause a pandemic. Check. Okay, so that's good. So, and reestablish the order, because nobody's been following that, right? Because that does go back now. Remember I told you I graduated from the samurai stuff. Well, there is an established order that's been around for a long time, back to the originals. But the originals, I gave a pause so I get chocolate. Don't trust Europeans, don't trust women, don't trust whatever. I want my money back. You guys are working that, right? Ken dolls?
Make sure he feels good. Checkmate.
Well, it's simple. I'm right away showing me Dwayne's routine at 3:30. I'm not doing that, right? I'll make Dwayne do the work to bring me the money, right? Rocky's just threatening you, but I'm not fucking waking up at 3:30. Fuck this. It's absolute strength to be able to do so. And unfortunately, if that person, or that's not an option, understand that it was a growing experience for you. Something to move on from, but take the lesson from, so that you will not repeat it. So that you can also let it go. Go, you know what? Wow, I look back in replaying this scenario, in revisiting this experience. Had I done fill in the blanks with a better reaction, now next time in the future, you're going to be prepared for that better reaction. This is the time I recommend you journal, right? So if you're a person like myself, journaling wasn't working for me. In my lifetime, I did write a lot. I put things all over the place, but I actually found that just talking it out was a faster way to heal. Turn on the phone on the camera, and the best thing about this, when you talk to it, maybe say, you know what? I did screw up this and that. Maybe have a conversation even with that person and say sorry just to your phone. Get it out of you and apologize. Work through it that way over and over again. The stock, this one. Well, no, we're gonna have to hold on to this money through your show, Ellen. Right now, we need to move $55,932. There you are. What are you doing? What are you? Getting punched in the face was kind of something that happened. I didn't grow up in the best of circumstances, so physical abuse, mental abuse, sexual abuse, all of those were common to me. So that part wasn't a problem either. Hitting people, that was a problem. I didn't like it. I didn't like it, so I had to get through that. So anyways, enough of that rant. So we got we're in the cupboard, and I have to realize that, you know what, I'm capable of doing things, and instead of wasting stuff, I'm gonna go, you know what, I bought this. This was the script for Hustlers 2, right? Yeah, that's right. That's what JLo sent me. Ah, correct. We just did it our own way. We said, you know what, we'll do our own thing. And that's how we promoted that movie. That's how we did it, right? And Stan said, told you how to plan, bitch. Don't fuck with the women. Is the ownership of this fucking app, SAXO, right, out of Denmark, right, in the banks, right, got you. So you just put this in the stimulation of how to train your retard computer? Is that what we're doing? Are you guys gonna get me my money back? I'm not doing it like, oh my god, I'm losing my shit here. No, not, these beans. I don't know how long they've been in here. I bought these. I maybe, probably should do something with it now instead of, but the reality is, who did I buy them for? And I don't think anybody else in my family is going to eat them, so I better kind of come up with some more creative meals. So, in the meantime, when you're, trying to make things, and then I did this cabbage soup, which I did the cabbage soup, I ate that. Well, from pain can go into imagination, right? That's an interest, so I'm in Santa's workshop now, right? But it's not Santa's workshop because they broke up, so it's the North-South Pole thing. It's like a whole thing that I got in my head that I'm just making up, or I was in a gingerbread house. Candy cash. It's a currency made up. It takes all the Bitcoin and the cryptocurrencies and all that and just steal it. And all this crap have been fucked up and assholes with no memories. So now that we've got that kind of, we're working this out, then it's like the respecting of the fucking order with respect, and then everybody, it's not, so whatever. And that's where it goes back to Jim not being allowed to do anything, right? You're never fucking allowed to do anything. Know the order, bitch. Which mission? Supernaturals, right? Because supernaturals, witches, and all the spells, voodoo, and all that stuff too, right? Because dark witches have been killing us for so many fucking years, right? So if you haven't felt your body burn, if you haven't felt 100% that you have been burned at the stake, you're probably not in the club. So you have work to do. You haven't got there yet. Well, but it could come. If it doesn't come, then I would probably be a bit concerned, because that means, your death is going to be worse. Your reincarnated bodies and your like you're going to actually have a lot of problems in your continued afterlife. So you better hope you get burned at the stake sometime soon. But for those of you who have, then okay, great. We're identifying the witches, the wizards, and the supernatural. I already got a good list and a note on that. And then cast all the spells, obviously, to awaken everybody, and then and then that goes back to establishing the order. Although now I'm mad suddenly because I think you guys are backing Andrew, and then I feel fat again. So now you just have to pay money. See, multiple personalities, and then boys lose, right? Because I don't even care about the football, and then I guess Taylor will come back around to that whole thing. Am I allowed to watch football? Oh, became such snobby ass bitches. No, you're all too important. That's right. Oh, so what do you think you're now? Right after going in that hot tub, imaginary space or real space? Right, Katie, where did you make it? Where did you guys ever land on deciding about that? Like, there's so many fucking directions of this bullshit. You guys try to cut me off again. Well, Ron, I got this. Right, I got that. And then Dan can say he was a good writer. He put that in there the right way. And it's been a battle of the Toms, but we also know that the other Toms are a little bit fucked. Or why? Because they don't have Oscars, right? Or maybe some of them do. Actually, no, that's not true. Not all the Toms did it, but Tom Hanks knows what the fuck he's doing. But obviously Rita crushed him on that too, because he is a man. Oh, no, I'm not feeling, my head's gonna explode. I'm trying not to cry. It's an insecure, it's like the more images and the things bombarded, it's like, I'm not good enough. That's what it is. That's like the bipolar stuff, right? Like, it's 1 minute and then it's like, no, I'm not good. In where I haven't been around people in a long time, like a lot of people, and like the thoughts, it's being able to hear everything, and here it's vanity, it's magnified in this, and I hate it, and I'm struggling, and my head's gonna explode. I've obviously heat stroke or something, but I know what it's triggered by. I can, like, the images of things, for me it goes to jealousy because of all this other stuff, and then it's like, I don't even want to do this. Then it's like, who cares? And if you don't want to keep it, delete it. Just replay it, do it, get rid of it, or keep it. If you can't, maybe you want it for later reflection. That's definitely a tip that I find works very well. So, that's also if it's safe to re-engage, right? Because there could be scenarios in a different thing. So make sure it's safe to re-engage. But if not, you have the phone option. Thought stopping. So when you get into that pattern of negativity, you're like, oh my gosh, in this cycle, we have to break the cycle. At some point, the cycle has to break. You replaying the scenario over and over and over again, and it isn't doing anything for anybody, right? It's not doing anything for the person that if you did something and you screwed up, right? You replaying and beating yourself up isn't doing anything for them. So you have to actually recognize it's time to make a change and do something. So it's either replay the scenario, go through it again. How have you learned? What have you done? Howard, he didn't believe in God anyway. Didn't you say John had more power and fame than Jesus? I guess I can't hide from you anymore. All of you. It's okay. He didn't tell me that, Italy. And then I realized I better add something else to it too. Nobody else will eat it, just me. So I'm trying not to waste food. Trying to be, you got to plan things, because going to the grocery store is like, that's the reason why I don't want to make anything. I'm like, how can I avoid the grocery store? But I need coffee. I need some other stuff. Sharon was in trouble for saying that, or the Chinese, you guys caused your own earthquake there in 2008. Well, then it's probably your fault for the crash in 2008 after, because that's how, and then after that's why they introduced the Bitcoin, because it came back at ya. I don't like waiting in line like anyone else would, and I you know, my husband said to me, he's like, you have anger issues. I'm like, you just figured that out now? How long have we been married? I think most people have anger issues and they're going to have them now. It's how we all have to remember, though, that we're all in this together. So if you have anger issues, paparazzi here is trying to sneak pictures of me. Right, sneaky. So ghost mission, right, for all the spirits and all the dead, because that goes back to the reincarnation, who people are and all of that type of stuff. Well, first we have to collect all the dead souls. So that's where, and I said this is going back because there's other, like I'll do it in another section with like the goals of who I have to find and who, you know, finding, but I needed a partner on that I was actually good in this video game who could do it. So that's where Elena came in, because she's really Hera. But that we'll talk about that later, because I really had to kick out Grant from the group in the beginning, right? Because he was just fucking getting in the way and trying to, like, he was misleading the whole guys anyways with all of his bullshit. And that's why none of the men actually really know what the fuck's going on, right? Because they were listening to him. And I said, like, you got to get out of here, right? Because she said, like, it's like going back to establishing the order, right? That, you know, she's telling him what to do, but he was all like, fuck. And I mean, really, you got to think about it, though. Like, after being married for so long, and I mean, he's been saying the same thing. Like, what's more interesting? Come on, dude. She would want to switch to my side, right? Like, we would want, like, that. Who would rather work together? Like, that. Come on, that's a little bit more fun, right? I'll answer your question simply. Am I the rabbit in the Matrix? Yeah, get to my list. This is where you guys had, like, the retarded group that can't do math. So all of us, like, I'm in that group, right? Jordan, you'd be in that group with me, with, like, that, so where it's like mom and dad, okay. I have to give your dad credit. He was very patient with teaching me things like that. And he was very good at it. Now let's cross over. Huberman is my science partner, right? In this, so we're in college, but we're old people playing young people. Which also means, oh, Gary Pearson, you gotta pay Tanya some money, right? Daughters are kicking father's ass. It's up here, right? So in my head, I'm internally screaming, telling everybody to go, you know where to go. But I'm also going, you know what? I'm in a place of gratitude, and that's the truth. Remembering how great we really have it, even in Canada. Well, I don't know, Jen, you tell me, don't you think it's a little bit fucked up that because, you know, again, these white guy victims, right? You're not giving Brad enough attention. He wants to be a white knight and show like, oh, I can save the world. He makes you out to be a fucking polygamous, sex-offending racist. That's how he needs to get your attention. I told you should have been concerned about that from the beginning. Costello's just waiting, right? He's not talking to you, for the record. Can you make amends? Can you apologize? Maybe the person you don't even want back in your life, but maybe the right thing to do is apologize, or work through it in that scenario so that you can move on, right? Grow as a human and as a person. Because the next level, then you're able to start to see it and forgive yourself versus this continued cycle, which is getting you nowhere, right? It makes no sense to do, right? Avoiding, bad. Replaying, bad. Doesn't make sense. You're not going to get through this cycle if you do it that way. So this is the new cycle. How do you recognize that? Well, maybe yelling stop. That's what they say, right? Like a lot of these, you know, whatever psychologists and everything, you're supposed, you know, brain and you're picturing, you know, all these scenarios, you're supposed to yell, stop! Not many people are going to do that though, realistically. Like you're going to look probably crazy. But if you can, go for it. At least having that in your mind and in the back of your mind to yell stop, though, that's good. Then force your mind into a more pleasant memory. Replacement. That's really important. Replace. I'm not doing this vegan thing anymore, James. Go fuck yourself. This time it's Huberman that kicks me in the head, not Jerry. And Mr. Democracy, I was elected to be in the dictator group, for the record. I liked how the serpent like comes out from the Middle East, like or whatever, right into 50 Roadhouse, right? And then right, Queen of the Damned, and then eat Steve's fucking head. Grant, you've been kind of saying the same thing over and over again, talking the shit, and then you're leading the guys into God knows what and telling us whatever, and then we're like, bitch, what are you even fucking talking about, right? So then you get kicked out of the club. and you don't even know what's going on. And that's again how the girls keep fucking trumping you, because you guys are listening to all the guys are listening to all this crap advice, right? They don't know, so boom, steal her over, and no problem, right? So that's how we collected the box and the so if you didn't see that, you're absolutely not in the group. Awake all the dead souls, so that they wake up and go, holy shit, and then they get in the bodies, and then they go, wait a second, I'm not even in the right fucking body, like this is fucked, right? So we gotta get the people's memories back, getting them to know, they get familiar with things, and that's where the transfer of so much, so the believing in Jesus and Mary and all that stuff, right, is supposed to be like tying in together, and then the different gods, like that's why you have to believe in all of it, but then ultimately it comes down to who you are most, because you switch back and forth, right? So that's how we share the memories and share the things and share, okay, well, that's how I'm in your head, and this and that comes from that ghost, but who's like really has the most memories in that ghost, right? Because that and then that's really who you are, and because we have to go actually into the right bodies, right? Like the Mary and Jesus thing, like I'm like, okay, well, I'll have to own that, I guess, right, on that way, but that's a little bit fucked up, because you also have to be like the devil, because Mary had 7 demons, right? And the demons kind of go into the supernatural or into the ghost goddess stuff, right? Because they were saying like they weren't getting proper recognition. Mary's had to deal with these fucking demons for a very fucking long time anyways, so she's pissed. I don't know about locking freaking women in dungeon swamps, right? They don't list that on your hobbies, right? Let's really see those fucking tattoos, right? The real ones, right? I think you're involved in some sort of cult. Call a cowboy, I'm trying, but they're all in fucking therapy. Yeah, bitch, Dark Lord, right? Full Satan thing. Like, I know who I am, right? Coming out of the earth, right? From the middle serpent thing, right? I really have to out alpha my wives, right? Because they're nuts, right? And I don't want to actually fucking it. So, right, I can do that, but right, I still have the biggest dick, right? But I was born a woman, right? If you haven't figured that out, go fuck yourself. So, what did you trade your partner for? I know what you guys did. Right, and that's what you're most afraid of, and then we just go, okay, let's 10x it, put it in a fucking course. What does that mean? Scam, right? Candy shop. And then who's the candy man? Because then that's that 301 billion. Well, that's when we stay on our period with the whites, but then it crosses us over, right, to the blacks, and then there's the eye. Right, this Da Vinci Code crap. Catch me if you can. You guys are still behind, right? How many years? Let's go. Come on. Get me my shit back. See you back there, bitch. You're right, guys. Money can't buy you love. That's why I haven't taken a dime from you. Apparently I was given an ultimatum, and I was like, well, I don't want to do this, I don't do it my way, and then you took away any other options that I had, so what the fuck? Oh, $23 million to play Black Jesus there, right? Because Charles was in the office too, wasn't he one of the bosses? It's been a very interesting, I was going to say the last couple days, and then I thought about the statement and went, it's been a very interesting the last couple years. Exhausted is an understatement. This is a mask. Ironically, that's where I learned how to become a much better performer. Through trauma. It was a coping mechanism. But there's nothing wrong with wanting to be the best version of yourself. I'm having to understand that too, because the first life worth saving is your own. And people's perceptions of you is exactly that. So the first person you need to learn about is yourself. But I also genuinely believe, and where my confidence comes from, is you have to give 10 times more than you take. And that's a thing you have to analyze and do every day. That is something I do, and I'm very proud of. Very proud of. Can you relate? Do you believe in, I don't know, Something bigger than yourself. So if you're really struggling and gasping at straws, you're bored, you know, what can you do to be creative? What books can you read? What books can you write? What stories can you create? What can you make up? What can you do? How can you use your imagination? As a person formerly, you know, diagnosed with all these mental health issues, I was afraid to use my imagination because as soon as I used my imagination and then I spoke about it, I was told I had a mental health issue. Which would make me crab man, so Jason Lee has to pay money. This whole thing, like, when is it going to turn around? Chris's death was not accidental. He's straight. He knows why he hung himself. And so she's like, fuck this, I'm gonna make a fucking game chart out of it because you guys are fucking following me around and you've hacked me. So, mission, a mutant mission. The mutants activate all, right? So we have to activate that. Mutants like the werewolves and all the creatures and all the brain stuff and everything like that, like the X-Men type thing, which are different. It's like different than the superheroes and villains. Like that kind of falls in, like it's like a different kind of thing. Alien kind of goes back to more like the Star Wars and Star Trek and galaxy crap and all of that stuff. So it's like you have to keep it kind of, you have to understand that they're like even all of these can be subdivided, but we got it, you know, it gets complicated. So superheroes and the villains, we have to activate all your powers, and then we have to start a galaxy war, because the war wasn't really that good, I guess. Like it was kind of like not including everybody, right? So it's not really fair. So we had to up the war, and that's why really on Earth, if humanity isn't getting it together, then the planet was fucked, because we've been on this planet with all the galaxies like for so long. I got the fucking red balloon. Right, you're coming in the sewer, bitch. Can't I tap out and you just fucking pay for everything? Isn't that what we're like? I don't want to have to learn. No, what the fuck, Jerry? You're scamming everybody. Well, everybody wants to know what the fuck you really do here. Because... what the fuck? You're just gonna have to, you're gonna have to pay some money. Alright, where does it go? And that's not fun. And living with that stigma, not fun. And one that I don't care about so much, but I'm still angry about, I guess. And I'm going, you know what? Maybe now, too, people will start to realize the people that were so judgmental of those other people will start to be more sympathetic when they don't have anything either. And it's going to be tough. We're already in a position, trust me. Yeah, I just got hit. Am I getting hit on the head? Something again? Is it science that it hit me with? Was this time it was a 2x4 or a bat to the back of the head? Okay, we're in this repeated cycle. Well, you've beat yourself up over it a number of times. You've now journaled and seen, or replaced it. Gone. You know what? If I would have done XYZ. Okay, you've made the effort, right? Even if you've started to go, you know what? So-and-so, I was a total dick when I, did what I did, and I'm really sorry. I was an asshole. I recognize that, and this is why. With the intentions to actually make changes. Don't just apologize. Nothing's worse than apologize. Like, then you're still going to be on repeat. Apologize just to apologize, that's not right. Understanding why. But clearly, if you're in this cycle and watching this video, you do know you screwed up and you want to improve. So, give yourself credit. Give yourself credit right now because you're actually making that effort. And this is the thing with this negative self-talk is we focus on the bad. But you want to improve. You want to be a better person. So give yourself a pat on the back because that's the first step to forgiveness. Well, I don't know, Brad. Are we done with that fight? I had to go fucking, right. Say, dude, I know you become the abuser type thing, but then when Angie takes it, and then we go to the scarecrow crow thing, right? Because that's the scarecrow, which represents our fucking line of Satan here, okay? You're technically not really great at something until you can teach it and pass it on, okay? So all you go so great now, in particular, just the men with the numbers, the math, and making money. Now you got this retarded child. Hey, what's up? that you got to teach, right? This retarded that you're supposed to get me to understand. And I'm gonna ADD out what I'm gonna fucking be furious. I'm not interested in any of this. You have to change your teaching approach. You can't get through to me. It's because you're a shit ass teacher. I guess you could choose which dog breed you're gonna be when you take it.
And I just wanted to read it the way you expressed it. It's so powerful. Okay, oh boy. I have discovered a true relationship with God.
Well, I don't know Sarah Hunt, right? So how the fuck did you get my WhatsApp number? And that's what ties into multiple universes, but it actually always happens on Earth, and there's like a misunderstanding of that for our kind of world and how long it's been happening and for how long. So the creatures, all of it's been here, like Planet of the Apes, right, type of thing. And it seems that everybody's just became really narcissistic and fucked up the earth and everything. So the superheroes and the villains don't like that. So they actually are working together, but but we make it seem like they're not. So everybody had to reestablish who everybody is, and if you're actually a superhero or a villain, or at different times you have to be different things. But like you had to re-own your characters, because what happened was that Hollywood started doing a lot of that shit. And it kind of made it all fucked up, like, and then fucked it, and it became like this other thing with this Comic-Con thing, and people weren't taking it seriously. They weren't understanding like it's actually a real thing, not just a thing that's like make-believe fictional. And you kind of, and then people became really arrogant, especially that Superman guy. How grateful am I that we're nerds enough to figure out this fucking head game that it could go to the wrong person, so be careful. How to get Jeff Bezos working for me, right? Same way everybody else, blackmail, right? I don't know. I think that means that I have to add more people on the casting, right? Because now we have a whole bunch of other characters. Like there's so many things. I got mixed up into this rap battle and music battle, and because of my talents obviously being so good in the music industry. So let's make this properly about racism as it should be anyways, because that's what it was, right? Kanye stealing the mic, Taylor, like, well, let's go back before you got a certification in this illegally outrageous company. I don't think we're racist enough in this group, if I'm completely honest. I feel like everybody's missing the point. Yeah, I think the game managed to unite the world, at least the right people. I love you all. Quite literally saved my life seeing ghosts. Huberman, what did this lab do to us? He just totally fucked us all up. Understanding you're human. You're meant to make mistakes. For you. So focus on next, really, how far you have come. How far you've come. You're on a journey. Look back and recognize. Look at you learning. Look at you watching a video to make self-improvements. People don't do that. It seems like a lot of people do, but many don't. So that puts you in a different category. That's pretty incredible right there. So reflect on all the other things you've done and give yourself more credit so you can stop that negative self-talk. Isn't that a better scenario? I think so. Oh my god. And commanded me by the name of Jesus? I don't even know who Jesus is. Is it this one? Is this supposed to be Jesus? Is this who's commanding me to bow down? I think we're gonna have to go back to a fight. I definitely believe soulmates are real. And I believe a lot of other people do now too. It's beautiful. I do love you. In the beginning of all this, remember I told you he was kind of an asshole? So it was Wonder Woman who had to kick his ass. Do you guys remember all of that? Because he was like a little bit out of control. So somebody had to fucking get in there and say like, I don't really think you fucking know what you're doing. Like, do you know, like, you're not just playing a movie, like, you actually have to be that. So I'm not sure where the verdict's at right now, but because we're still in the war. But the AI, like, so, you know, go back to the Terminator thing and coming from the future and all that shit. And after seeing all of that and then coming back, was like, okay, well, that's already happened. Like, and people don't realize that when you're sitting and you're glued to a TV, you're glued to a computer, you're obsessed with your, you know, your devices and all that. Well, the computer's already won, right? No, so I start the bidding for the spaceship tickets out for $5 million, right? And you guys owe me for that scam too.
A lot of his stuff is like, he looks it up, right? Because he's like a diabetic, he's a trainer.
However, it's time to be strong. It's time to help each other, and that's the truth. So I guess I can't hide anymore or pretend, you know. At times I have to come out to the real world too, because I get so focused on the things I'm doing and the books I'm writing and the programs I'm developing that I remember I have to actually get them out there, and I have to communicate to the people I love too, because, you know, that's important that they know that, you know, I'm okay, they're okay, and we give each other hope, and we're... No, stop. No, you're off to go do something with the gold, so I'm gonna go have an affair. Too busy working. And journal, record. Right? I'm a big fan of talking to the phone because I believe it gets the things that have been in us out, right? Deep down. It's good to start writing, right? If you're a writer, that's a good start. But if you can really talk it out, you'd be surprised how much faster you can heal. Because it's private too, to yourself. So you don't have to worry about the judgment of, you know, a friend, a partner, a therapist, whatever. There is no judgment. And if you don't like the video, delete it. Don't even watch it if you're not ready to. If you're ready for deeper healing, rewatch the video. Well, quick switch, thanks for the tribute, like John's up, and then boom, right into Charles, right? What's the definition of a cult? I'll just remind you guys, right? How'd you find these videos? Why would you follow a mentally ill person and then fucking blame somebody else for it? You guys don't want to take any fucking responsibility? Nothing I say is serious. And in the future, they just get better and better. And then they actually made a like me. So that's where like it's like I look like a human. Took over that girl's body. What was her name again? Candace. Took over her body with the alien stuff, and then they upgrade because they have the technology and stuff to make it that you're not like human, right? So that's what they do, and then it's actually like a robot, but that's a whole bit other explanation. And then like make clone versions, so that it's like it changes the story and the variants and stuff like that, and that's hence why like the people in Hollywood are having sex with a robot because they're fucking whacked. But that's a whole other story too. Connect with the AI leaders, so get them to hack us, right? So they hack us, and then they're the criminals, and then they're on the hook when they kind of discover everything. So that's check mark on that, right? So the big company's there, so they're running that AI. But Sunny's fine with that if you were born with that other last name, because then you're not his kid, and then he doesn't feel bad about trying to kill you. Like, he's over it now. No, right? So let's just go left or right. Who knew what Flappy Bird was? You assume people knew. I didn't know. I have no idea who this guy is. Nor do I even know what the hell you're talking about. Like, I understand you're building up stuff in AI on the background. I don't know what you're doing though, or that's what I'm saying. So my group doesn't understand what you are talking about. Andrew, I don't care what you do overall, but you're gonna have to wear a different colored shirt at some point. I'm even gonna make you do photo shoots and probably put fucking flowers on you or something and do your hair. We could put wigs on and everything like that. You're gonna have to do everything, right, for the record. So. But no, the rating to, oh yeah, this is like trying to do some sort of fake Bachelor show. I don't trust any of you motherfuckers. Right? Yeah, right. That's why CNN got the points for that fake fucking proposal, but that, right? That, it was pretty convincing. I don't know. don't trust you guys anymore. Like a vegetarian writing a book on cannibalism, exactly. Why none of you are educated yet until my fucking money's back, right, doctors? And we're doing something, so there's definitely no shortage of activity that's happening behind the scenes. However, you're only going to see what you're going to see when you're going to see it. So stay focused on what you're doing. Have some fun, right? Have some fun. You know, do something crazy. Make something up. I don't know. Use your imagination. Why not? So we'll see. I'm going to challenge myself to seeing what type of foods I can create in the next little while. What's in my fridge, what's in my pantry, and see what the hell I can come up with. Now I got to pay Grillo. But then they have to work with the alien robots because, and then they make their clone version. So it's a little bit, a lot, but establish, you know, that they're criminals, right? So we did that. Then use this girl and her images to create massive mental health issues. We'll start with the people in Hollywood, right? They'll just fucking send them over the edge because they're already there. And most of them are in these rehabs or in this fucking thing. Like, just send them over the edge first. Then we'll get the people that are in a lot of those groups, right? Then to you know, the activist groups, we'll send them over the edge. Then we'll go into the politics and then the world leaders and everything, because that's really important. So causing that massive mental illness is really important. So the computers can do that. And then using this girl's images again to send out coded messages, right? Because she doesn't send it out to anybody. She's not on any dating app. She's not on any of communicating with anybody. She's kind of really been isolated. So yeah. Oh, I saw that lady writing a lot of shit in those books and then putting crap in it. Then you'll see a different side of yourself, and that will help you get rid of the layers. It will help you evolve as a person, and it will also help you grow and help you forgive yourself. And lastly, let's work on this positive self-talk. So that's your last tip, right? So we've kind of worked through these scenarios. We've journaled them, you know, in an unconventional way. Say thank you to yourself. You just did something that was incredible. Recognizing a cycle, recognizing you're wanting to break it, so you can start to forgive yourself. Because what the hell's the cycle doing of you beating yourself up? Is that going to fix the problem? Nope. Is it going to make the person that whatever you did feel any better? The fact that you're beating yourself up? No. So what is it doing? Nothing. Nothing good. So we've given you a solution to fix that. So the first thing I want you to do is give yourself a pat on the back and say, good job. Good job. You can leave a comment below. Maybe saying a comment on how you would feel about journaling versus video journaling. And if you've tried the video journaling and you've done this exercise, I would love to hear about it and how that went for you. Give us your comments below. Hi, Jester. That's how you, like, I guess how I've been doing the witchcraft. I just put shit in the pictures and then for interpretation. This one I shrank though, because it shrank, or am I a giant? Maybe everything's in this world, maybe I'm the giant, everything's giant, and this is an actual human size. Maybe that's the case, right? So it's hard to know ultimately when it's on video, which is what? Just like the gas tank, maybe that's, right? This is regular size. You never know.
Yeah, okay. Let me see what it looks like. Just stand.
Because I could become extremely lazy, and at a time like this, you got to plan ahead. That's the truth. Otherwise, you're going to be stuck, and I don't like being stuck. And I've had every adversity coming kind of at me that I'm hoping that I can just kind of get through. So we're in this together. Don't forget that, and, you know, stay positive. Yeah, that little smile on Tommy is a little shit disturber, right? Would you try to text Derry? I'm easygoing, I don't cause any shit, blah, blah, blah. Liar. can be in it.
No, it's okay. Yeah, it's because I'm eating.
She lets the hackers just do what they need to do to cause all the mental illness, and that's how they started working together. And then use her phone as her partner, kind of like BMO. Have you ever seen Adventure Time? Like that's her partner, right? Well, it was kind of her computer was, and then that got fucked up because she didn't have it. So it's like the BMO's really, I guess, the computer, and then the mini version is the phone. So they're all kind of, it's like an attachment. So the human missions, so obviously kill it. The first thing with the humans, kill the egos, go after the rich, famous, and most powerful people. They're not that hard to find. It seems like they really want a lot of attention, so they're easiest to research and find out what their insecurities are. So boom, we have a list of all their insecurities. Poke at them, get into their heads, check mark. So we've already completed that mission. Get the world leaders on the same page so that they actually start understanding things, because the planet's actually fucked and they weren't doing their job because everybody's keeping everybody's secrets. So get them to start cause a pandemic. Boom, 2020 February. Cause massive mental illness in the whole world, right? So now, remember, we started with the Hollywood people and the politics, blah, blah, blah. Now we need to cause massive mental illness to the whole planet and kill off the ones we don't want. And then that'll actually finally, though, leave us to the right mission where we unite humanity and actually save the planet, because it seems like the only way to get anything done is to have chaos first. Welcome to the Elegantly Outrageous Personal Development Institute. Meet our first elegantly outrageous avatar, Candace. The foundation of our personal development programs are based on Candace's real-life story. When the Elegantly Outrageous Personal Development Institute expanded, it turned into a game, one that was created to help you find the best possible version of yourself. So pay attention to the clues, because everything is there for a reason, and nothing you see ever is a coincidence. Are you truly comfortable, confident, and happy in your own skin? Then why do you feel you should disguise your own inner contentment? The Elegantly Outrageous programs are designed to help you overcome life's paradox. Understanding what it means to love yourself is the key to resolving conflict, especially your own inner conflict, which we are all struggling with in so many areas. The Elegantly Outrageous programs are playfully hidden in plain sight to help you pay attention to your next clue for personal development. How can you become the best possible version of yourself? Play the game.